Women's History Month is all about honoring women past and present and empowering the next generation. On this International Women's Day, we are highlighting the podcast Women Who Travel, which tells us stories of the realities of traveling as a woman in 2024. Joining me now is the host of the podcast and Condé Nast Travelers Articles Director, Lale Arikoglu. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
What have I been doing the last couple of days? Listening to your podcast. It is so good.
Thank you.
It really is. So tell us more about the podcast and why you started it.
So I started to notice that there was just a huge craving among women for travel content that actually spoke to them and spoke to their experiences. I mean, travel journalism has a long history of being mostly in a male voice,
right,
and there are so many stories to tell and points of view to explore our travel experiences from.
And how has the travel experience changed for women over the years? Have you noticed a big change or not much?
So I think the big change is the huge explosion of solo travel. I think women have always been finding ways to travel alone and fly solo, but it really has become a huge travel trend. And it makes sense because women spend something like $125 billion annually on travel, and they make up 85% of travel planning. So, of course, they're out there in the world exploring it.
And what are some of the top safety tips for women who travel alone? Because I think that is like a big thing on people's minds.
It's a huge thing. And I mean, it's kind of depressing that we're talking about it in 2024.
Yes.
But, you know, I think it's also, there's no one right answer because what feels safe to me might not feel safe to someone else. But I would say, I mean, I go to some crazy places.
Yeah, you do.
When I was in Patagonia, for example, I made sure to share my location with my partner. So I say, if you have a trusted friend or family member, just let someone know where you are. Also, it sounds really obvious, but don't let your phone die, which I do have a habit of doing. So bring a portable charger with you. And I think research the destination. Talk to, you know, if you know women there, talk to them about the neighborhoods that they feel safe in and the public transport that they feel good taking. Do they take Uber or do they take a different ride-sharing app? You know, I think ask questions.
Yeah, definitely. And I love what you talk about in your podcast about kind of knowing the culture. Like, don't go there just out of the blue and not know what is the do's and don'ts.
Right, and that's so much for the people you're visiting as well as yourself. You know, travel should be about connection, and so learn a little bit about the place before you go.
So what are the most exciting travel trends you're seeing right now?
Oof, okay, well, solo travel, obviously. I think there's also, you know, coming out of COVID where we couldn't travel for a long time, people are really wanting to be intentional and thoughtful about their travels and really dive into a place. And it's not about a bucket list anymore. It's about really immersing yourself. We're seeing heritage travel is, you know, hugely popular right now, and multi-generational travel to be with family members again, really dominating it still. And, you know, in 2024, wellness travel is also, I think, very popular and top of mind. And we just released our Travel Well vertical on cntraveler.com, and is really talking about wellness in this holistic, inclusive way, which I think hasn't necessarily done before, and we're really excited about that.
Well, Lale, thank you so much for being here, and definitely listen because it is so good. I really enjoy it.
You must be sick of me by now.
No, not at all, and I love your voice. And you can listen to Condé Nast Travelers Women Who Travel wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be right back.